unsung narrative. Young, dumb American, arrogant, throwing fits, ripping shit, tearing it, imperative. Then I'm killing this mic no matter where I live. These derelict rappers acting a fool, this embarrassing is flagrant. That's the nature of this entertainment, and we can't even change it. Guilty before arraignment, now the system tainted. But when we speak, they all laugh at us. And y'all wonder why I'm lacking trust. Try to fight a giant with attorneys that can back them up. That's church versus science, both sides start acting up. I'm late on my assignment, hopping up a mile high, climbing, obviously never silent. New alignment, I'm defined, cannot describe it. Used to describe it as a young graffiti artist. Before the beard, I always got carded. At every bar, even though my bar has been the hardest. The scars on my face, and I ain't always been the smartest. But I'll show you where my heart is. I said I'll show you where my heart is. I can show you where my heart's at. See it on my sleeve, even if the beat stops my soul.
Where'd Caleb go?
Caleb's missing.
The show started, Caleb. Let's go. This guy.
Next time, tell me you started.
It was 7:30.
The music was playing.
Next time I'm warning. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Sports Nonsense and Whiskey. Somebody else, help me out. Jesus.
Freaking amateur.
You guys are amateurs. You sit here and you bitch and moan for and then you just randomly start the show. Just randomly. Okay.
Not random. It was at 7:30.
7:30.
You were Tuesday.
We might have a good show on our hands,
We're gonna
guys.
have a great show.
Woo!
This is gonna be awesome.
How are we doing, fellas?
Good.
Oh,
Good.
excellent. It was a great weekend of football for the most part.
Robert looks like the sun is shining, and he's just...
I'm chilling, man. First off, I was getting a lot of shit from all of my friends and family about wearing Seahawks gear. I'm like, you know why I went? Why? Like, I'm still a Broncos fan at heart. Like, come on. So I have to show up and show out today to make sure that everybody still remembers I still support the Broncos.
I'm glad you brought that up, Robert. I think that's a great thing to talk about for a moment.
It is very aggravating.
I do get, there's a couple people that do not understand the whole idea. I mean, the idea behind the football trip is really just to go have some fun with friends and family in different cities around the country.
100%.
Right?
100%.
The football is just kind of a reason to go.
Yes.
But then it's also like there's just something about going in gear for that team. Like, we could have all just walked in with black t-shirts or whatever, right? But it's a whole different environment when you are dressed like the people.
Yes.
Caleb, what do you think?
No. And yes. I get the idea of wanting to experience a home stadium as a home fan and see what that atmosphere is like. But you're talking to somebody who sat in the epicenter of the student section at CU for a Nebraska game wearing red.
But that makes sense.
I enjoy wearing my team's colors in somebody else's atmosphere. So it's depends. Like, is my team playing in that game, or are you just going?
But now, I think people who, like, as a Broncos fan, if I went to Seahawks Stadium and wore a Broncos jersey when they're not even freaking playing.
Well, no, you don't do that. That's what I'm saying. It's
so again.
It depends.
Your situation's not quite valid.
That makes sense.
If you go to LSU,
did you listen to what I said before? I said what I gave two scenarios. I said it depends on the situation. If you're going there to enjoy the home atmosphere as a home fan, then yeah, you wear the home fan's team. If I'm a fan of the other team, I'm going to wear my team's colors in the opposing stadium and be good with it.
Now, that's also why the first year we started this, we actually did go to Nashville and watch the Titans play the Broncos, and I did wear Broncos gear because they were playing the Broncos. And that was the moment I said, wait, I don't want this to be about the Broncos. Plus, we lost. Thank you, Russell Wilson. Plus, we lost. So it was like, I don't want this to be part of the trip. I want to enjoy the game. And all the other times we've gone now, we've worn that home team, and that home team has won. We're good luck. I just think people are like so tribal, right? Our teams are like we're part of that tribe, and it's hard for us to get out of that, tribal instinct. I guess it'd be some people
And
have a hard time with it.
Not
You
to
gotta
mention-
do something about this 2-in-1 box and PFT's sunglasses double showing. It's killing me. My eyes can't focus right now. We gotta do one box for now or throw up a graphic because there's too much movement on one screen for me.
Do you? Oh, I don't know. I don't think I'm seeing what you're seeing. I just see Robert. It's fine.
You don't see like your second box over here?
No, I hit it. You can hide it.
Oh, so only we see it? So it's just messing with me like that?
There should be
I
an
don't
option
see it.
for you to hide it.
Hmm.
To the left, bottom left,
Yeah,
above our
well.
pictures. Because I hit it because we've got a new program now that on YouTube, our show is now broadcast horizontal and vertical.
Mm.
So if you're watching on a phone, you can watch it perfectly.
Interesting.
Vertical.
Okay. Well, I'm all sorts of discombobulated this fine evening.
All right.
It's
Well,
okay.
So let's jump into our first topic. We were going to talk some NFL. I think it's a great time to check in on the playoff picture. Let me share my screen. And Robert,
Yo,
what sticks out on this graphic?
the Chiefs are missing. Dun dun dun.
I was going to go with the Broncos are number one. Let's go.
I mean,
But-
yes.
The Chiefs are missing from this graphic, so I think we should definitely talk about that too.
I mean, I was mainly thinking about Andy when I said that. Love you, Andy. You're the awesome. You're the best. But I am happy that they are not in the playoff picture at the moment. The dynasty is falling apart.
So let me ask Caleb this, since we didn't watch the game together. What were your leaving the Chiefs Broncos game? What were your thoughts?
Surprised the Chiefs came out flat after a bye week. Notoriously, that is the opposite of what happens with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. Not as surprised about the outcome with it being at home. That helps. Rashee Rice not showing up, given the fact that they basically gave him single coverage for the game to see if he would be the one that beat him. Surprising. They got to run the ball. But all things considered, I think the Broncos got a bit lucky and got the Chiefs on an off week. That offense has to get figured out with the Broncos. They can't, if they go against a team that plays 4 quarters, as good as that defense is, it's hard to beat a good team if they play all 4 quarters. And right now, the Broncos are kind of getting lucky where teams are not playing a quarter or two, and it's playing into their favor really well. And part of that is the defense and putting the pressure that it does on the opposing offense's team. But part of it is just the other team doing them some favors because that offense is such that it's given the other team a lot of opportunities. And that defense is on the field a lot more than it should be, which is wild that it's still performing at the level it is given the amount of time it's on the field. So those, like we talked about last week, there's no great team in the NFL. There's a lot of really good teams, and all these teams have their flaws. And I'd argue the Chiefs and Broncos are a half dozen the other as far as who's better at this current moment in time.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but currently the Broncos have punted the most in the NFL. Is that right?
Have.
What?
The Broncos have punted the most in.
It's the-
Yeah.
It's
in
the
the league.
craziest stat. I believe the
Yeah.
Broncos are the only team in history to currently be a 1 seed and have punted the most of any team in the league. It's never happened.
It's wild. And that,
Rare
again,
stats, love it.
Can you win a whole season that way? Yeah, you absolutely can. There is plenty of history in the NFL that says a great defense and an awful offense can still win Super Bowls. Like, people want to say what they want, and they're like, you can't live and die by that. It'll eventually catch up to you. Maybe, or maybe you just go win a Super Bowl and then your team's really bad the following year because you don't have the same magic. Like, there's a lot of examples of that in history of NFL football. So, okay.
So, I'm going to agree with a lot of what you said, Caleb, and that doesn't happen very often. I will say one thing. Coming out of the Chiefs game, I was a little more encouraged that the Broncos did score on like 4 of their last 5 drives. They just didn't score touchdowns, and that's against some teams. You're going to have to score touchdowns. I'd also say the Chiefs were a pretty good defense overall. They're not amazing like they've been in the past, but they're pretty good. Spags knows what he's doing. Bo Nix made some big boy throws in that game.
He did. There were a couple, but again, he's kind of this guy right now who doesn't play the first 3 quarters and only plays the fourth quarter. That's a dangerous game.
And in some things, it's the offense as a whole. Sean Payton's play calling, some of those dumbass screens, holding penalty that puts us behind the sticks, not being able to run the ball effectively, or guys dropping the ball.
You say not being able to run the ball effectively. I would say it's not having a commitment to the run game, which I think is a very big difference. I think before the fourth quarter started, I think I saw a stat that it was something like their offensive plays in the second half. Maybe it was the game. I can't remember. It was like 13 runs to 26 passes. Like that's not a recipe for winning football usually. When you're throwing twice as much, like you go back and look at league averages, I believe the winning formula right now in the NFL is somewhere in the neighborhood of 60-40 pass to run. And if you go beyond that, you're usually in a lot of trouble.
You know, in the entire time that I've been on this show with you guys, you know, I feel like I can really say this with good authority. You run the freaking football, and that's how you win football games. Period. And if you're not running the football game, what are you doing? You can't get the play action. Like,
he's so grown up. He's so grown up.
Yeah, it's come a long way. It's nice. It's fabulous.
I did something.
You're right though, and I think that's, again, we've talked about Denver's flaws. That's a major part of it. KC right now sitting outside the playoff picture is interesting, but look, again, like we surprisingly enough are not surprised by where the Chiefs are, and we still have them making the playoffs.
I still have them making the playoffs. Like a lot of people are like, oh no, they're not going to do it. I'm like, look at their schedule. I have the Colts and Chiefs. To me, I do think is a coin flip.
We actually have them 5-5 right now.
Did we really?
The one projection we might have gotten right in all our years.
Dude, you need to
out of nowhere. We actually have the Chiefs 5-5 right now.
You need to take a picture and post that. Like
we're about to have them go on a bit of a run. Beat Indy, beat Dallas, beat Houston. That's what we're projecting.
I love this.
I'm not as confident in the Colts one right now, but they're definitely beating Dallas, and they're definitely.
You might want to. You want to. No. We'll get there. But we'll get there. Yeah, 5-5 right now. So we're not surprised by this. We have the Chiefs in the playoffs still. We had them finishing 12-5.
Well, they still get the Raiders, they still get the Chargers, and they still get the Broncos again.
Yeah, don't we play them in a couple weeks?
We play them on Christmas.
That's right. Month.
So we should get together again, Robert.
On Christmas?
Yeah, it's Christmas. It won't be till Christmas evening.
Okay, we'll talk. I'll be available, probably.
Lily's always welcome to my house, of course.
Yeah, we actually projected them to win out from this point on. 7-game win streak is what we're projecting them at.
The only game on their schedule I'm even concerned about is the Colts. Other than that, I think they'll win. The Cowboys' offense, any given week, if they show up, will make it tough on anybody. But their defense is still bad.
Well, let's move into Dallas then while we're at it. Defense looked pretty solid the last couple weeks. Addition of Keenan Williams, pretty good. Pretty good.
They looked good against the Raiders, but the Raiders have Brock Bowers, and that's about it.
Well, I'd argue they don't even have Brock Bowers.
I mean, he was still making plays last night.
You put up a bunch of empty stats, as you always like to talk about, then does it even matter?
Well, again, the Raiders defense could not stop the Cowboys.
They've got Ashton Genty.
They don't have Ashton Genty because they don't have a run. They can't run the ball at all.
And they've got Max Crosby. So again, I'll go back to luxury picks when you don't have a team built yet. I talk about that a lot. And Bowers and Genty were both luxury picks when you didn't have a team yet.
If Jim Harbaugh took over the Raiders this year, like Pete Carroll did, and he had the 6th pick in the draft, what would he have done?
O-line.
He would have picked an O-lineman.
Then he would have traded up for another one in the first round, and that's where he would have started his first year in the NFL with that team. I don't get it. And everybody's like, well, Brock Bowers is the best tight end in football, and Genty, he's just not being used right. I'm like, cool. None of that matters if you don't have an O-line and a quarterback to get them the ball. Luxury picks. If you don't have an offensive line and a quarterback already, getting the other things are usually not worth your time at that point. I would build it the complete opposite way, but whatever.
Let's get back to Dallas. I still think that defense, even with Quinnen Williams, is still not going to be very good.
I think that defense can get to close enough to middle of the road where that offense makes a run, and they very much are in contention for a wild card by the end of the season.
I don't see it, man. I don't see it.
I'll take it a step further, Pinky. Depending on how this weekend plays out, they might still win the division with the way Philadelphia is playing.
Not a chance, bro.
Why not? If Dallas wins this weekend, it's a game. It's a game difference.
It's 3 games. Philly's
division.
8-2, bro.
In the division.
No. Philly is 8-2. The Cowboys are 4-5-1.
I know, but in the division, it will be a game.
Their record is still 3. If Dallas wins, the Philly's still up 3 games. So, Dallas is not going to catch up in the division. That's not happening.
I bet you'd be surprised.
Philly is 8-2.
So?
Philly is not losing.
You act like Philly's been dominating everybody this year.
No, they have not. Even last night or Sunday on their win against the Lions, that offense has got issues. It's not good. The fact that they kept throwing to AJ Brown and nothing to Devontae Smith, nothing to Dallas Goedert. Saquon was not great against the Lions defense that I think we would say is middle of the road, right? I think they're middle of the road. They scored 16 points. Detroit turned the ball over to them 5 times on 4th downs. They scored 16 points. I don't have a lot of faith in the Philly offense. I still think they're going to win enough games to still win the division because Dallas is in such a hole. That's the problem. Dallas has to completely win out, which I don't think they'll do. Philly would have to lose out for that to happen, Caleb. I just don't see Philly losing out. I think they still play the Commanders. They still play the Giants. Maybe actually, I think they may already played the Giants twice. They're going to play the Commanders. They're going to beat the Commanders. They're not going to. That's just not going to happen. Dallas wild card. I would consider that argument, but there's a lot of good teams in front of them right now.
Sure, there absolutely are.
And that's the NFC West. Literally is like, hey, we're all three of those teams they're going to make the playoffs. All 3 of those guys.
I won't go that far. San Francisco still, they have so many injuries. The fact that they're still doing what they're doing is a bit of a surprise. Where they're at, I could see it catching up to them eventually. I'm not saying it will. They still have talent and they're still a good team, but oh my gosh, the amount of injuries they have, they're playing on a razor's edge right now. So to say all 3 of those teams will make it, I think is a bit premature.
I do think San Francisco, with Brock Purdy back, the offense will be better. The defense is still playing okay. I think they're going to make it. Let's talk about the surprise.
Chicago.
Like, I literally did not even until I saw the graphic, I think, on Good Morning Football that they were 7-3. I was like, what? Like, I went back and I looked at their schedule. And I was like, shit, they are 7-3.
Yeah.
Like,
winning
crazy.
some close games, playing decent football.
You would also say Caleb Williams still has not played amazing football.
I would say he hasn't put a whole game together yet. Inconsistent, but he's put quarters together, drives together. You're starting to see it. What I believe is a progression of learning within the Ben Johnson offense, which is, I mean, if you're a Chicago fan, you got to be thrilled because there was a point in time there where you had to be at least in the back of your mind thinking potential bust and
Absolutely
the curse of that position within that organization's history. So I mean, I would be hopeful if I'm a Chicago fan based on what I'm seeing. What I would be upset about, and I think that's putting it kindly, is a defense playing as terribly as it is with as many draft picks that were spent on high-end talent and completely underperforming. I think that GM, as I've said plenty of times before, should have been let go. Has no business running that organization still.
The Bears defense does get turnovers, though. They haven't been amazing, but they have gotten a lot of turnovers.
Unless it's something you've done year in, year out, like you've said before, you can't rely on it. And that's not something this isn't Peanut Tillman. So
good. He's so good. Robert just left. He was like, "Oh, I gotta check on my salmon." Chicago, that's a surprise.
I'm back. Sorry.
Man, the Buccaneers better watch out. I don't know if the Panthers will overtake them, but Panthers are 6-5, man. It's close.
I mean, we said they play scrappy football and they might be more competitive than people would give them credit for. When I was talking about them potentially being a dark horse to win the division, though, I expected their quarterback to be playing better at this point in time. And he has not progressed like I would have hoped to have seen. To the point where, if I'm being honest, if I get the opportunity to grab a solid quarterback, either in free agency or via the draft, I would not hesitate to dump my toes back in that water at this point in time. Now, I say that, and a lot of times I think organizations pull the plug too fast on some of these guys. But what I said a couple weeks ago, I am now changing my belief in the shorter quarterbacks. And with the way the lines are set up and the way timing is and windows and being able to combine those two together to optimize your offense's abilities, you just physically can't do it when you can't see over anybody in front of you. And then to have to rely on those perfect windows to open up in order to throw a perfect ball that requires perfect timing on a route, it doesn't happen. And so you then have to be supremely talented. And I don't think Kyler or Bryce Young are talented enough to overcome it at this point. They can be good quarterbacks, but maybe not great quarterbacks. They might have good years, but they're not going to have great years. Like,
they're not guys I want to pay $40 million to.
I just can't
$50
anymore.
million.
I can't. I tried. I have my beliefs, but if I'm being honest with myself and I'm continuously watching the tape, they force themselves to start with a crutch. And then when that crutch gets multiplied by poor offensive line play or wide receivers out or what other ever ailments might be going on the offensive side of the ball, it's hard to overcome things when you're going from crutches to wheelchairs to bedridden. You know what I mean?
I would almost say that if Kyler Murray would truly use his legs more, I think for a season, he could have a just monstrous season.
Well, what you need to do is honestly, what they should be doing, in my opinion, is you should be running a lot more under center. And it should be a lot more heavy on the run game and bootleg, play action, because those are going to get the natural windows open. Those are going to give you naturally good visible throws on timing when you run that type of offense. Instead, they keep doing this weird thing where they're like, hey, we're either going to do a shotgun where you stand back there and just throw the ball, but you can't see over anybody in front of you, or we're going to run this option read zone kind of thing, which also puts you at a disadvantage because if you go to fake pitch and then drop back, you're even closer to the line of scrimmage. And guys are coming at you now already again. So unless you're, like, honestly, to me, like that old John Elway, Shanahan, Jake Plummer style, that would be the optimum offense to be running for somebody of that stature. Doug Flutie, really, back in the day. But
that was my first Broncos jersey, was Jake Plummer.
You look back on Doug Flutie, and he didn't have a lot of success in the NFL. And I think it's probably, as I'm thinking about it more, probably that exact reason. And so if you're constantly having to get outside the pocket to make plays, you're already at that point basically playing backyard football. And then you're just hoping you have more talent. And Kyler and Bryce Young don't have more talent around them than the other teams they're going to be playing if they want to be in the playoffs, right? So Tampa's probably going to get in, but boy, their injuries, they lose a couple more and they could be in for some really big trouble. They're on their fourth string running back. They're missing their top 3 wide receivers coming into the season. They're missing 1 or 2 offensive linemen now. They're struggling.
They are struggling for sure. Let's see, what else?
The Rams might be the best team in the NFC. But I'll caveat that with, I think that Sam Darnold game was a one-off. And they still almost had a chance to win the game, even with him throwing 4 interceptions.
Bro, like, if a guy throws 4 interceptions, you should have more than 21 points. And, like, it was a 61-yard field goal, which in today's NFL is very makeable. They could have lost that game.
Could have, but
even with Darnold giving up 4.
That defense is really good with the Rams.
It is.
And we talk about the Broncos winning because of their defense. I don't think the Rams defense gets maybe as much credit as it deserves at this point. Going into that game, everybody's talking about Seattle's defense. I think the Rams defense should get some more love. I think that front 4 is dangerous.
Yeah, that
And what happens when the front 4 can put pressure on a great quarterback, Pinky?
They can fold. I am more intrigued on the NFC playoff picture than I am the AFC. The AFC side, I'm at the moment, I think the way that this looks right now, Buffalo is ready. Buffalo is ready for a playoff run, and Buffalo will be more than happy if somehow KC doesn't find its way into the playoffs.
Well, I'm gonna pop and burst that bubble right now because I don't think Pittsburgh's going to be in there, and I don't think Jacksonville is going to be in there by the time it's all said and done. I think that's going to be Baltimore and Kansas City. Now, whether they're favorites to go on a run at that point, I don't know, but I think that's...
So, Jacksonville at least holds the tiebreaker against Kansas City because they beat Kansas City. So, there's that. The Chargers still hold the tiebreaker on Kansas City at the moment because they beat Kansas City. And Buffalo holds the tiebreaker. But I would agree, Baltimore's getting Pittsburgh out of there. Baltimore's definitely getting into the playoffs.
Especially since Rodgers now has a fractured wrist who's still trying to play on it.
Well, it's because it's his non-throwing hand. So if he can basically take the handoffs and handle the pain, it can be done.
And notice how I didn't say anything about the Chargers or the Bills being out.
I'm not sure about that. Chargers O-line
So
is
you
struggling.
discussing them as having tiebreakers over Kansas City, fine, that's cool. I think they'll both be in there at this point. I have no complaints there. I just don't see Jacksonville is so inconsistent. And like we talked about earlier, we've got Kansas City going on a run to end the season. I don't see Jacksonville being able to hold on. And they're not winning the division with the way Indy's playing, so they're not going to get in. Chargers are interesting because, boy, do they play down to the level of their competition. Somebody told them they're playing Jacksonville, and it was the 2016 Jaguars or whatever, and they're like, cool, we got an easy week. And then they go out there and lay an egg.
That Jaguars defense was giving it to Justin Herbert.
I mean, that offensive line is real bad right now.
They were hitting him a lot.
Sounds like Omari and Hampton will be back after the bye week, so that boosts that run game. They still have some weapons to throw the ball to.
Dude, they've got great weapons.
So
McConkey, Allen, and Johnston.
I gotta believe with where they're at on their record, they will find a way to win enough to get in. I just don't think Jacksonville will. And the way Pittsburgh's been playing this year and the fact that it very much looks like Baltimore is going to go on a run with the way their schedule ends here, like Pittsburgh's probably going to be out too.
Yeah, no, I don't think Pittsburgh's not making it. They're not making it. It's just not. I don't see it happening.
The tides have definitely shifted from the AFC being the division of dominance to now the NFC being the division of dominance.
To me, at the moment, Buffalo and Baltimore, like that's the AFC Championship matchup.
Baltimore's got to get that defense figured out still.
They're playing better.
I mean, they had injuries, I understand, but boy, they gotta get things figured out. I am not worried about the offense. I think Lamar, Derrick Henry, the boys will get it figured out and go.
Now, in this scenario, if Baltimore takes over, gets the 4th seed, New England is able to keep Buffalo out of the division. Buffalo, Baltimore in the first round.
That'd be brutal.
Bro.
That'd be baller.
I mean, it would help. It would help any team that is hoping to make the Super Bowl in the AFC, because I think I could make a case for Denver. I think I can make a case for Indy. I think I can make a case for the Patriots. I'm
going to tell you right now, if it ends this way, everybody's thrilled that they don't have to go to Buffalo or Baltimore at all.
Right.
For not even one game. I think if people are being honest with themselves, they would be a little bit nervous about a Mike Vrabel team in New England. That would be a little bit nerve-wracking. I don't know how nervous teams would be with Indy having to go into Indy, just for the simple fact that you've seen enough of Daniel Jones to know if you can truly make it about him and shut down Jonathan Taylor, you might be able to put yourself in a position to win.
That's the tough part.
I could say the same thing about Seattle with Sam Darnold right now, right? If you shut down their run game and you force it solely on Sam, there's a history there that is probably your best chance to beat those teams if you have to play them at home. So I think nobody wants to go to Denver during those months. That's history proven. And I think with that defense, nobody would want to see that. So right now, they're not thrilled with the idea of Denver being the 1 seed. I don't think anybody would be thrilled about having to go to New England. I think everybody would be thrilled that you get the chance to not have to play in KC, in Buffalo, or in Baltimore.
Look, you don't want to go to New England or Buffalo or Kansas City in January. It's cold, it's miserable, and you just don't want to do it.
And right now,
typically Denver has great weather in January.
Facts.
He's not wrong. February and March are usually the really bad months. So he's not wrong. So
We're still waiting on our first round of snow, people. Like, come on now.
I think if you're in the AFC and you're looking to get in the playoffs right now, even if you're on the outside looking in, I think you're thrilled with the way things are lining up right now, because you're like, you would have told me at the beginning of the season, this is our opportunity and this is the path we have to take. This is best case scenario.
I mean,
Done.
for coming back to the Chiefs have to beat Indy. They have to beat Indy.
I won't go that far. But I think they've. You're 5-5 right now. You got to go at least 5-2 to finish the season to hope to get in with a wild card.
Now, in
So
your
you could
scenario,
lose to Indy in one more of those divisional games. Either it's Denver or the Chargers, and I think you could still get in at 10-7. But anything past that, I think there's no way.
I mean, the hope. Robert, do me a favor. Can you pull up Jacksonville's schedule?
Why, I got you.
Oh, Caleb's got it. Perfect.
Yeah, he's got it right in front of him.
What's Jacksonville's remaining schedule? Because I think that's who if the Chiefs lose to the Colts, they need the Jacksonville Jaguars to lay a couple games. Now, I do know the Jags play the Broncos.
Oof. This actually looks pretty good for the Jags. They play Arizona, Tennessee, Indy, the Jets, Denver, Indy, Tennessee.
So they're going 4.
I'd give them at least 3, right? Tennessee, New York, Tennessee.
Yeah, they're winning all 3 of those.
So what if they lose both against Indy and Denver? They go 3-3. They're 9-8.
They're 9-8. So the Chiefs have to finish 10-7 because if they finish 9-8, Jacksonville's got the tiebreaker. And I still think Jacksonville could technically steal one of those Indy games. It's a division game. Weird things happen. You know how that goes. Now, the Chiefs' remaining schedule, though, I think we said it was Colts, Raiders, Chargers, Broncos, Dallas.
Colts, Dallas, Houston, Chargers, Tennessee, Denver, Vegas.
Houston is the game that I'm not as... That Houston defense is pretty awesome. It's pretty legit.
It's one of the best defenses in the league.
It really is. So,
but I wouldn't be worried about that offense. And if they can stick with Denver's defense, they'll be fine with Houston's in my mind. So I think that offense is on the verge of really breaking out again. I think they're starting to find their legs again. Travis Kelce is starting to look pretty good again because they've got things on the outside around him, which allows him to kind of improvise in the middle of that field again. I just think if they can get any semblance of a run game going, that offense is a ticking time bomb.
It's all about the what was I going to say? It's all one of the things that's going to Andy Reid has got to run the damn football. Kareem Hunt was averaging over 5 yards a carry against Broncos. He only carried the ball like 11 times.
Yeah, I was gonna say like 9 times. It was not good. Like it doesn't make a lot of sense. I look.
It's ridiculous.
I don't want to beat a dead horse. You know how I feel about that. So, but yeah, I think I do believe Jacksonville and Pitt will be out. KC and Baltimore will be in. Would it surprise me if that's how it finished? No, it wouldn't. Would the NFC surprise me if it finished that way? No, it wouldn't. But there's a team on there right now on the NFC side that I find very hard to believe they're going to miss the playoffs. So then who comes off?
I mean, the team I've got coming out is Green Bay.
Okay.
They don't play consistent. They just don't. That's why I have more faith in San Francisco finding their way to 3 more wins than I do Green Bay.
I mean, I don't necessarily hate that, Pinky. I really don't.
I mean, they tied the Cowboys, for God's sakes.
Do you see history repeating itself with Green Bay?
As in, what do you mean?
Just anything that might stick out to you right now with what their current flaws and issues might be, and
Their defense really isn't that great. They're there's a lady at work. She's awesome. She can talk ball. She's a Green Bay Packer fan, and we'll talk ball. And I was like, talking it through with her, I'm just like, the Packers' biggest flaw is they just don't have a true alpha number one wide receiver. And I know you can get by without it. I know Buffalo gets by without a number one wide receiver, but they have Superman playing quarterback for them.
do they though? Do they?
Buffalo's got Superman playing quarterback. Yes.
Do they
that's
get
a
by
fact.
without a number one receiver though?
They're in the playoffs every single year. Yes.
Okay. What's the difference with Green Bay then?
They
in the playoffs every single year.
I mean, they're there. Matt LaFleur's been great, but he hasn't gotten them over the hill.
They're there. Buffalo. They're there.
But neither have made it to the show, so they both suck.
Just saying, what do we always talk about with young quarterbacks? Give them weapons. Put talent around them. All of a sudden, these guys win an MVP and teams go, we don't have to do that anymore. Well, you should be able to do it. You're an MVP. Like, no. If they don't have somebody to get the ball to, they can throw a perfect ball. But if the dude can't get open or create space, the defense is always going to be able to break the pass up. If the offensive line is trash and can't open up running lanes, then they're always going to be able to run at the quarterback and rush the passer. Like, these seem like simple concepts, but teams continuously make the wrong choices time and time again. Why do you think Patrick Mahomes was successful? Because he had talent around him. A really good defense and weapons on offense. Tom Brady didn't win because of Tom Brady. He took pay cuts for a reason. He renegotiated his contracts for a reason so that they could build the best talent around him. No, they may not have
because he's Tom Brady.
They may not have had the best wide receivers or the best running backs year in and year out. But what they did have is one of the best offensive lines a lot of the times.
And Tom Brady.
And then they had great defenses. Buffalo's not doing that for Josh Allen. They're just not. Like, their defense isn't great. Their offense outside of James Cook isn't anything. Whatever picks they did spend, Keon Coleman looks like a bust. Dalton Kincaid doesn't look like he's all that great. Could it be play calling? I don't know. Yeah, I know he's hurt, but he hadn't been doing much before that.
But you said play calling's great because you said Joe Brady's awesome.
Wasn't he?
I didn't say play calling's great. I said I like Joe Brady. I do think he's a good offensive play caller. I don't know, though, I'm saying, what is the issue? I don't believe it's the OC. I don't believe it's the play calling. But I can't sit here and say it's not on the table of possibilities of what's wrong. They're arguably the most inconsistent team in the NFL right now. They could go hang 40 one week and 6 the next. And do it looking really good and really bad. So I don't know, man. I don't know. What has Baltimore done? They learned that if you want to get past Patrick Mahomes, you give your quarterback weapons. So what have they done? Tried to give Lamar Jackson weapons. They may not have necessarily drafted the right weapons per se. Time will tell. But they still went and put weapons around him. Mark Andrews was argued as one of the best, if not the best, tight end in the league for a couple years. They put some speedsters on the outside. They got the best running back in the league, maybe, by some accounts. So they at least tried to do the things needed. They just had some really bad luck. Buffalo has had some really bad luck. But you could argue that bad luck was self-inflicted. Whereas I would argue Baltimore's really bad luck is just bad luck. Like, it just found them and they can't get rid of it. Zay Flowers fumbling, goal line, in the end zone multiple times. Like, things of that nature, not good. Derrick Henry fumbling when he never does. Not good.
How about just not running the football in the playoffs the last couple of years?
Not great. Buffalo, though, you've got decisions being made by the head coach that you lose to KC when you shouldn't have a couple different times. Like, your GM says they don't need to go out and try to get a weapon for their quarterback. And then you see some of these guys move, and you're like, you could have had him, and you didn't even ask? You didn't even think about it? So I don't know. And I feel the same way about Green Bay. I mean, those wide receivers, they are doing Jordan Love no favors this year. None.
They truly are.
And then he lost Tucker Kraft, which was really his only secure weapon, who is having arguably the best tight end season this year in the league. Josh Jacobs goes out now. I don't know. I could see Green Bay not making it at this point, and I picked them to win the division. So, I mean, but you're sitting here telling me Detroit's not going to make the playoffs? Would that surprise me? No.
It's Detroit.
Well, I mean, I talked about reasons why I think you should be a little bit suspect of them going into the season. And I think we're seeing it very much so on the offensive side of the ball right now.
Absolutely.
But telling me Detroit's not going to make it, and this would be the final lineup, I think I might be a bit surprised.
Robert, what's one thing that you find pretty intriguing about the way that this looks right now?
To be quite honest, like, this is gonna sound kind of stupid, but it's fresh blood. I feel like it's a different atmosphere. There's actually something to be excited about instead of, oh, who are the Chiefs gonna play, right? Like, I'm genuinely excited because this season hasn't gone anyone's way. No matter which way you look at it, it has not gone in any particular favor. Again, I'm totally in shock that the Broncos are 9-2. For God's sakes,
Caleb, what did we have them at right now on our list?
Well, right now, the way you two went homer to start this, you're looking pretty good. I will give you that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-2.
Yes. Oh man, I love it.
We may have gotten there a little bit differently than what we projected on that list, but I think you got to admit that's pretty good, Caleb.
Awesome.
You got to admit, because I'm pretty sure you called us out on that. Like, you guys are being a little too homerish.
Yeah,
like, that's not going to happen.
I didn't agree with a couple of these wins. I didn't agree with a couple of them, but yeah, 9-2.
I love it.
The wins I didn't agree with were more in the back half of the season. So after this, the 9-2 start, not that far off as far as what we might have agreed upon.
I love it.
But now,
9-2.
I mean, at least the way things have been going on back half, I'm Commanders, that's a win. Raiders, that's a win. Chargers are still tough. But that O-line is not as good as it was when we played them earlier.
Washington, Vegas, Green Bay, Jacksonville, KC, Chargers.
I see a lot of ways to win those games, in my opinion.
Let's do it.
I don't know if we win out, but
no, we have them losing to KC at KC.
Christmas Day. Yeah, we're losing that game. I do feel that.
Definitely, you're going to be favored in the Washington game and the Vegas game. They'll be favored in the Green Bay game because it's at home. I bet that's like a 2.5 because they won't want to give the field goal. Probably call it 2.5. That'll be a coin flip game. Jacksonville's at home. You should be favored there. Then at KC, and then Chargers are at home. And if the Chargers' offensive line's still what it is, I think they'll be favored in every game to end the season. Maybe even the KC game at KC, even if it's only like a 2.5 again. Yeah. Depending on what those records. If KC wins like we're projecting them to, they win out up to that game, I would say KC gets the 2.5 at home. But either way, it's going to be a coin flip there too.
Oh, I think KC will win that game on Christmas.
Yeah, we all think that. I'm just saying the spreads aren't going to be anything tremendous there. No. Even if you think the Broncos might lose in a game or two there. So based on what they've done up to this point of the season, they're very much in contention continue that 1 seed. What's New England at? Let's just look real quick.
What's
See,
the rest of their schedule?
we had them 5 and 6 right now.
Mm.
So from here they go Cincy, the Giants, then they get their bye. Then they play Buffalo, Baltimore, the Jets, and Miami.
They're gonna
lose to the Buffs.
They're gonna be 13-4.
They'll beat Cincy, they'll beat the Giants, then they get their bye. I would say they lose to Buffalo and Baltimore.
And they're gonna win the last 2.
Then they'll win the Jets and Miami, so they get 4 more wins. Yeah. So the Broncos, if this holds out, they have to basically do what they're doing to finish a game up. I don't know what tiebreakers look like in that scenario if they both finish with the same record. I don't know. I'm not going to go deep enough right now to see who's got the better in-conference
I'm not sure
record.
why the Broncos have the tiebreaker at the moment, because their 2 losses are against the Colts and the Chargers. So I'm assuming the Patriots' 2 losses have to be against similar.
Yeah, it's just there's so many things that start going into that. I'm not gonna. But
No. I wouldn't.
You stay a game up and you're in good position at that point. So that probably I think holds true. You say I'm crazy for thinking Dallas could go on a run and catch Philly in the division. Is it improbable? Yeah. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility, though. Given the way Philly's been playing, given the insanity that is the NFC East, and the just wild things that have happened over the last, 21, 22 years, they've not had a repeat division winner. Dallas all of a sudden looking good makes that even more interesting of a topic all of a sudden. But I would be surprised if Philly finishes in the NFC 1 seed. They can turn it on at any time. So no matter where they get in the playoffs, they could easily all of a sudden flip a switch, be the best team, and make everybody look foolish. They have that much talent on that team that I think they are. If you're looking just on paper, I don't think anybody competes with Philly's roster. If you're looking just on paper. But you got to go play the game on the field. And for whatever reason, they don't want to go put 4 dominating quarters of football together right now. So I could see them finishing in the 3 or 4 seed and then going on a stupid run and repeating. Sure. I would be, at this current moment, though, I would be surprised if they finish as the 1 seed, especially with, just let me look again, because the Rams are what makes me interested.
They play Seattle again, too.
The Rams get Tampa at home, Carolina, Arizona, Detroit, Seattle, Atlanta, Arizona.
3-3.
3-3? Really?
I think Seattle can win that game.
I'll give you Seattle and Detroit. I think they beat Tampa the way things are going right now.
They're playing Tampa this week
at home.
Yeah, they probably beat Tampa. If Tampa was if Bucky Irving's back, it might help. But yeah,
not like Sean Tucker played bad last week. That was not the issue of why they lost.
I mean, Josh Allen went freaking God mode. Is why they lost.
I'm just saying. Tucker went off for 170 yards and 4 touchdowns or something stupid?
Yeah, it was pretty
So
crazy.
whether Bucky Irving comes back or not, the running back isn't why they're not winning games, is all I'm saying.
I wouldn't just... I think that's more of a coin flip game than a dominant, Rams win.
That's fine, but you would still favor the Rams, is what I'm saying.
I would probably favor the Rams, yes, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Bucks win. The Bucks are a good team.
Now, Philly has to finish. So that's why I said this weekend's a big game. They're at Dallas. They lose that game, I think everything can be in play.
I just don't think they're going to lose to Dallas.
That's fine. And if they don't, I will come on here and be like, yeah, Dallas is probably out. But again, I'm caveating this. I'm qualifying it, right? Dallas has to win this weekend to make things become interesting. If they don't, then fine. I think it's potentially a very likely possibility, though, with the way the defense slowly seems to be getting better every week, and that offense is best in the league if it wants to be.
But Caleb, what do you want?
I want Dallas to win the division.
That's not happening.
That's
That's
disgusting.
not happening.
I like chaos, my guy, and I have no rooting interest one way or the other for either of those teams.
I can.
So you give me chaos, and I am all for that.
Oh,
So they finish Dallas, Chicago, Chargers, Vegas, Washington, Buffalo, Washington.
Well, they're going to win 3 of those for sure. So they'll be 11. That would be at least 11 wins. So the Cowboys, if they win out, still can't catch the Eagles.
What's the Cowboys' record right now?
4-5-1, I believe. I can look. Hold on. Let me look. Eagles, Cowboys. 4-5-1 is the Cowboys' record.
So if the Cowboys win out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
6.
They have 8 games left. Wait, sorry, 7 games left. So if they win out, they could easily win the division.
That's set. Well, now that's 7. But I don't see the Eagles. The Eagles are going to win at least 3. They'll win.
If the Cowboys win out and the Eagles only win 11, the Cowboys win the division because they have 1 less loss. That tie would give them the division, be based on record.
Technically, but thankfully they're going to lose this weekend, so we won't have to worry about it.
Look, all I'm saying, I'm trying to give the people some scenarios, some possible fun things to pay attention to, and Pinky, as usual, wants to poo-poo on all the fun. Only plays what-if games if it's on the good side of Denver.
I'm gonna wet blanket that all day. Cowboys are not beating the Eagles. All right, we got to move on. I think there was some college football you wanted to talk, Caleb. So,
was he prepared for that?
Well, I just thought based on the time, next week we really need to discuss because we're going into the final weekend of the season. So next week we really need to have a conversation, set aside time.
Thanksgiving week is rival week, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the game. It's a lot of Army Navy's the week after. The playoffs we'll be looking at set. The league championship games, which are probably going to be going away as soon as maybe next year. There's a lot. So we need to set aside some time next week. I will say this. I've had some pushback, shall we say, on social media regarding who I said was the Heisman finalist as of last week.
Yes.
Now look, anybody that talks about this should know one thing. It's a fluid week-to-week conversation. So if you're going to come at somebody and talk about it like it's an end-all, be-all, and it's not consistently evolving, probably going to be hard to have a conversation from there to begin with. Ty Simpson probably took himself out of the running after last weekend's game. That loss hurts.
Yes, he did.
Alabama didn't look good.
Awful.
I'd be fine with you saying Ty Simpson's no longer in the running. Cool. I had some people say the two best players in the country are not even being discussed. And Jeremiah Love and Jeremiah Smith. Why does that not sound right?
Jeremiah Smith is Ohio State, right?
Wide receiver, but that doesn't sound right.
I mean, that is him. Okay,
good. They might be the two best players in the country. They're not playing the best this season. So this idea that, well, everybody knows they're the two best players, well, then put up the numbers that says you're the two best players. Don't come at me with Jeremiah Smith when his quarterback's in the running. If his quarterback's in the running, why aren't you in the running as the top wide receiver? Put up some numbers that justify you being invited to New York. I've had people say Mendoza's win is against Penn State, and that late comeback isn't necessarily something that should put you over the edge. That is exactly what a Heisman moment is. It's the final drive. You either go down and score a touchdown, or you guys lose the game to an unranked team that's about to upset you in their home field and rush the field. 90,000 people descending on you. Your playoff hopes crushed. You go down and lead that drive 80-plus yards. You throw that dime in the end zone to your receiver who has the catch of the year. Those are what Heisman moments are. So Mendoza stays in. Plus, Indiana might be the best offense in the country. They might be the best team in the country. And he's arguably the best player on that team. So, yeah, he looks good. He gets an invite. Julian Sayin is putting up crazy numbers. How he's not considered one of the front runners, I don't understand. He's leading arguably the best team in the country, maybe the best offense in the country, and putting up stupid numbers doing it. I think Rodriguez
titled this Caleb's rant.
Rodriguez out of Texas Tech, linebacker, having a great season. He's not, if Sue didn't win back in the day, being obviously the best player in college football, it's going to be hard for a linebacker who gets some tackles to win the Heisman.
No defensive players winning the Heisman. I'm
year.
Calling it. Not any year. It's not happening.
It will happen again. It will happen again. Not anytime
happen.
Soon, probably.
It's never going to happen.
Well, Travis Hunter won last year, and you could argue he's a defensive player.
That's what put the cherry on top for him.
Well, I mean, a lot of people argue he was a cornerback daylighting as a wide receiver. So
I think it was the other way around because he had top 5 stats as a wide receiver.
You know how I feel. I'm just trying to play a little devil's advocate. Regardless, could Rodriguez get an invite? Yeah, he might get an invite.
Caleb feels.
I think the other one that has brought himself into the conversation after this weekend and kind of gave himself a Heisman moment, I think there's two guys that are now. And again, they're 2 quarterbacks, but look, we've talked about it before. Do we like that it's quarterback award? No, but when you have the ball in your hand more than anybody else and you decide the fate of a lot of things, it's kind of a natural progression of you being the best player or the MVP. So other guys are going to have to do really outstanding things to overcome that. It's Chambliss, who I did talk about a few weeks back when I named like 8 guys to pay attention to, 9 guys to pay attention to. That Ole Miss win and comeback, I think, puts him back in the conversation, especially if they could look at potentially winning the SEC. It would not surprise me if he could get enough votes to win the Heisman. And then, I'm drawing a blank on his Reed.
Crap.
Reed out of Texas A&M. They had a comeback as well. They're looking like they could potentially win the SEC. They're having a really great year. He's leading them to do that as well. So I think those 2 guys have now jumped into the conversation. I think Simpson jumps out. Now you're looking at 4 guys. I would say Fernando Mendoza is probably your front runner, if I had to guess. But I would say those 4 guys, and yeah, they're quarterbacks, but I think those are the guys who are doing the most for their teams at this current moment.
My moment of the day today at work was I actually had a guy ask me, what college did I go to? And my response was, does it matter? And he was like, well, it doesn't as long as you say not Ohio State. And I was like, not Ohio. I was like, I don't care about Ohio State. I don't care about Michigan. I didn't even see where he was from. I was like, I don't care about Michigan. And he was like, oh. And I was like, I don't care about any Big Ten teams. I'm in Colorado. And he was just like, oh my God, that's awful. Hey.
I would have said right then and there he's lying. He very much cares about Nebraska because he loves to hate them. Outside of that, though, you don't care about any Big Ten teams.
I feel like I only love to hate them because of you, Caleb. Because of you.
Oh, goodness. So, look, there's a lot going on with the playoffs, though. And we could definitely deep dive. We don't have the time right now. I think we should leave some time tomorrow or next week because it's going to matter at that point. Because then those next weekend games are truly going to decide fates. But I'd say probably the hottest topic right now is twofold. One is the SEC as good as everybody thinks it is, or is it just preseason numbers next to their names that makes them look that good? and gives these people validation. And then 2, the great Miami Notre Dame debate that's raging right now, and how that looks and where they're ranked in the current standings. So, yeah, man, there's a lot. There's NBA to discuss. Like, you know what happens if you give me an opportunity and a platform.
All right, well,
so
we're gonna
don't. And then
Shut him down, Robert. Shut him down.
all right. So breaking news, actually literal breaking news as of right now.
Ooh,
The
I like
smallest
that.
country in the world in the World Cup has now qualified for their first ever World Cup appearance, and that would be the country of Curacao. So they just got out of the group stage. They are the 40th team
Robert?
to qualify.
Where the is Curacao?
That's in the Caribbean, sir.
Okay. Whew, okay.
Are they? I can never remember.
Curacao.
CONMEBOL?
Curacao.
Yeah, I know Curacao. Are they CONMEBOL or are they CONCACAF?
They're CONCACAF.
So they qualify
hell did
within
you
the
just
group
say?
with the U.S.
Mhm.
No shit. Nice.
Yep.
Well done, Curacao. Well done.
So yeah, the tiny island nation is located in the Caribbean. Pinky has a population of 156,000 and a landmass of just 444 square kilometers. They surpassed Iceland's record when they qualified in 2018.
It's smaller than Iceland.
Yep.
Oh,
I need to go to Iceland.
Well, we all need to go to Iceland, but
So
dude, that's when you put that into perspective, that's pretty wild because Iceland really is like one city.
yeah. So again, breaking news. They just qualified, so that's super exciting. Also big news today. We had Austria and Scotland both qualify, which they haven't been to a World Cup since 1998. Since I was 2. So just to kind of put that in perspective for you both, just to make you, so that's super cool. I'm really excited for this World Cup. It's shaping up to be great. I mean, this is one of the biggest ever with 48 total teams. We still got 8 more qualifiers to get in, but we're getting close. December 5th, gentlemen, is when we find out who's playing who. That'll be taking place at the Kennedy Center.
Oh, we will have a conversation then.
Yes, so be ready for that. World Cup news is coming at you fast and furious, ladies and gentlemen. It will be here before we know it. Caleb, you and I are going to have a great time. Pinky, you're going to be along for the ride, sir. It's going to be a good time.
Let's rock.
I'm just literally, to be quite honest, I'm waiting for all of the games to be announced for the group stages, so that way I can take the day off for when Germany plays. Like, that's just what it is, because I'm not missing a game. It's in the U.S. I don't care. I'm so excited.
I mean, disappointing is one word that comes to mind hearing you say that, but
Why are you saying disappointing?
you're not German.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
I mean, he's German adjacent at the very least.
No, I'm German.
Were you born in Germany?
I have German ancestry, dude.
Were you born in Germany?
I wish.
Okay, so you're not German.
I'm not going for the U.S. I never have.
I'm
It's
just
always been
saying.
Germany.
You're American. So disappointing.
Deutschland
disappointing.
überall. And I've lived there, so I also get that too. So I was a citizen and I work for the German nation, so I pay German taxes.
You have a dual
paid German
passport?
taxes?
You
I
have a dual passport? Do you have a dual passport?
I wish, but no.
So then you weren't a citizen. So again, not German.
Still pay German taxes.
Yeah, that's what happens when you work somewhere else. Just like NBA and MLB players have to pay Canadian and American taxes when they play for certain teams. It doesn't make you a citizen, my guy. Disappointing.
Germany all the time.
Disappointing.
What do we have in the world?
An American that would root for
Moving
Germany
on.
if they played in the finals of the World Cup. That's what you're looking at, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, even if the Germans were playing the U.S. in the World Cup, which will never
I'll
happen.
root
but
for
I'll
I'll root for Germany.
That's so gross from both of you.
Yes! Thank you,
But
Piggy.
I lived there for 7 years, so
I don't care. You've lived in America for 37.
and their soccer team normally sucks. And they're
And
not
so the
making
one time they would have an opportunity to be good and do something, you're both going to root for the other team? That's gross.
they're not making the finals, so I don't have to worry about that decision.
All I said was if the scenario presented itself, you're both looking at the wrong side. It's disgusting.
It's
Germany.
not going to happen, so it doesn't matter.
Germany.
Absolutely disgusting.
Germany.
Deutschland, let's go.
Yep.
Yeah, people should just turn us off right now and never come back.
I mean, they might.
That's
Don't
okay.
say that. They might.
Oh.
All right.
I'm
any
sorry,
F1?
guy. I try. I really do try to
But I
make
hate
sure
the
we make good decisions and we do the right thing and we bring you things that make you happy.
but I
And
hate
then
the
these
Olympics
two
too.
have a tendency to go out of their way to start the show without telling me and root for Germany.
Man,
I can't do anything else about it.
I mean, you're wearing a UNC shirt, so like, that's really all I gotta say. So nonsense. So real quick, just want to give a quick shout out for, again, we pride ourselves on spending time with friends, family, and all those things. It was great to get to celebrate and watch my niece perform in her first ever cheer competition. She's loving it. I definitely do not miss the competitive atmosphere of young children. Oh my gosh. It's chaos and insane and so much glitter everywhere. But I'm a cheer uncle. I'm excited for her. She's loving it. So great time for that. For other nonsense things, Caleb, you brought it up in our group chat.
We got to take a moment here. I just can't. This guy's got like a whole new personality with this look tonight, and I'm just vibing with it. Like I just can't. I can't let it go unmentioned. Like we need to discuss. Like there's just a whole
like
different
Johnny
vibe
Bravo,
coming
bro.
from this man right now. Like we just need to recognize. Like
hey, I had to
Continue,
represent.
sorry.
I was getting called out, so I had to pull out.
apologies.
No,
I
you're good.
didn't mean to interrupt, but I couldn't. Like the vibe was just. It was strong at that moment.
I appreciate it.
Sorry. Continue.
So as you mentioned in our group chat earlier this week, Caleb, in less than a month now, so December 17th, we will have our next show that we will be watching week to week together, which will be Fallout Season 2. We all love Season 1. We thought it was one of the best things that Prime's put out. It's great TV, great video game.
Not just one of the best things Prime's put out. I think it is, at least for me, it's one of the best things that TV has put out in a long time. It was up pretty there damn good for me.
That's a fair statement.
Really damn good.
I'll get on that train.
And I never played the video games, so
neither did
solid.
I've got no backstory whatsoever. I just thought they told a really awesome story.
I'm excited to see Macaulay Culkin in this. I think he's going to be great.
I mean, so far all their casting has been spot on. And I don't know anything about the characters, but just based on the way the story's being told, the way the characters have been written and the way they were casted, those actors are very much defining the roles in a way that make you believe what's happening.
I love Walter Goggins.
Oh,
Walter
dude.
Goggins is fantastic.
Oh my! I mean, I've been big fan of his since Justified.
Yes.
So Boyd Crowder is another one of my favorite shows.
I loved him in Vice Principals.
I loved him in Tomb Raider, actually. I thought he was great.
Tomb Raider was good. He was fantastic in Django. He's just good, man.
I like him a lot.
Great.
His Walmart commercials are hilarious too. So
yeah. So yeah, that's gonna be good.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for that. A lot of good things. We're going to New Vegas, which we all kind of figured at the end of season 1, but now that we have it confirmed, it's gonna be great. That's one of my favorite video games of all time. So like I said, you guys are in for a great treat. It's one of my favorite settings. So really looking forward to that. Caleb, I know you and the little ones are probably gearing up to go see Zootopia 2, I would hope. I know I'm going with my niece here soon. I'm really looking forward to that because the first one was I think a classic.
I'm a big, I mean, I'm a big Disney dude, me and the wife.
So
Zootopia is one of my, I really like it. One of the better new releases of Disney. I think it went insanely underrated because maybe it didn't have the soundtrack of like a Frozen or a Moana, but I think it's better than both of them.
Which we're gonna get to that. I'm glad you brought that up, sir. I was kind of
So
hoping you were
yes,
gonna go there.
actually, the wife
Um,
brought it up and bought my son and I tickets. So I'm gonna take the little dude and me, and we're
Hey,
gonna go
cool.
check it out in theaters.
Fantastic. Now
So
I
that'll
got to
be
figure
fun.
out when I'm gonna go with my niece. I think we're going next week with my dad's gonna be here. So, he and I are gonna go see The Running Man, and then we're then gonna go as a family to go see Zootopia. So, best of both worlds. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited to go back. I think that's a world that Disney could dip into quite a bit if they really wanted to, just because Zootopia is what it is. So there's a lot of stories that you could tell all within that same thing. Could be
Absolutely,
fun.
absolutely. Which, Caleb, you did bring it up, so we're gonna tackle this. This is one of my big nonsense topics for the evening, and I was waiting till we did the show to get your raw reactions. So Disney has finally released their first trailer for the live action Moana. We just got the sequel to the animated last year. When do you think Disney's overdoing it and milking it way too much? Because this trailer looks like absolute garbage CGI crap. I'm not a
Oh,
fan.
all the initial
I
reviews
don't.
I've read are not good. Not good.
I'm not a fan of this. It's way too soon. It's not warranted or needed. I think Disney's in for a very rude awakening when this comes out next summer.
Disney hasn't done a live action remake that I've liked.
Thank you.
Not
the
one.
only thing I'll go back with is that, again, especially during the summer, people like to take their kids to the movies. It's going to make money, and that's all.
Yeah, it will. It
That's all
absolutely
it's
will.
about.
And then it'll make money again on Disney Plus because everybody that didn't see it in theaters will see it, or the kids will watch it again. That's the beauty of it for Disney and making money. As far as redeemable content that's going to span over time, I don't think that's it. And I'll say it again. If they were truly serious about doing live action movies, they would make Treasure Planet and they would make it a PG-13
And
Avengers world.
Atlantis. And Atlantis.
Atlantis has limitations. It could be a very good one-off movie. I don't think you make a world out of it.
True.
I think it has limitations in that regard. I think it could
if
be
you're
a very
looking for
awesome.
profitability, then yeah.
I think it
Treasure
could be a
Planet.
very awesome one-off movie. But again, if it's going to be a one-off, I don't want to see them do a live-action remake. The only reason to me that makes sense to do a live-action remake of a classic that you already made animated and what you're known for is animation. The only reason to do a live-action remake is if you're going to turn it into a world. If you're going to build a world off of it, then go ahead and do it. If you're not going to do that, I don't see the point other than just to bring in a bunch of cash instantly. And that's all they care about. And they are, I think, and we'll find out, because Moana was before shit hit the fan for Disney. That was in production and everything before shit hit the fan. It's since hit the fan, and they're realizing the way they were doing business isn't going to work. So I'm hoping that means Disney gets back to truly quality storytelling, which is, and really more geared towards animation. Now, they own all these other properties now that allow them to dip their toes into anything they want from G to R, right? So if they want to go do some more adult storytelling, what they used to kind of shy away from within Disney, and they kind of do it under some of their sub-arms that people didn't really know was Disney brand, now they could do it out in the open and run with it under the Fox label or whatever else and be fine. And they're never going to have to worry about, intermingling the two. But if they don't take these lessons and go, I'm bummed because we're not getting the quality animation that we used to get from them. And then the live action that you're getting, and that goes for all live action that Disney's associated to right now. And I could argue this goes all the way back to Endgame. Isn't great.
Which leads me to my final topic, Caleb. Our next live action Disney project will be Avatar, the threequel, which is clocking to be the longest Avatar, which they're already long as hell. It's over 3 hours. And this will also be our first supposed look at Avengers Doomsday. To be quite honest, that's the only reason why I'm considering going to go see this in the theater, so I can see the trailer.
I mean, the visuals, even the Avatar water movie, the visuals are I mean, fantastic.
The visuals are fantastic, but
The story's
for me,
just a little lame.
It tells the same story as it does in the first one, just on water, and it doesn't. And there's too
Well,
much
and
of a
this
gap
is-
between movies. There's too much time.
1, 2, and 3 needed to be year. And James Cameron saying he had to wait for technology to be invented to catch up to film it the way he wanted, that's all bullshit.
Because he had it when he did the first movie.
I don't even
Right?
care. Even if be more creative, James Cameron. Plain and simple. It's the same with Alita. The whole reason Alita took issue, like, does he make good movies? Yes. Do I think he's insanely egocentric and has issues trying to finish a story? Absolutely. And then he blames it on other things, and that creates all these issues. I'm excited for this Avatar. I loved the first one. Absolutely loved it. I don't give a shit if it's Dances with the Wolves retold in outer space. Don't care. It was super awesome, and I loved every moment of it. The concept, the idea, all really cool. The second one, I think, suffered from the fact that you had to wait so long from the first one for it to come out. It lost the connection of that story and what they were really doing. So it made it feel like it was the first one retelling again. Because they were on the run. Like that should have been, that movie should have come out right after the first one, so you had the intensity of that, truly feeling like this is a family on the run, and they're trying to stay hidden.
It should have been done like
the
Lord of the
original
Rings.
Terminator. Like, that's kind of what this should have felt like. Like, life and death, we're on the run, we're trying to hide, we're trying not to draw attention to anything anymore, and then, look, this is just who we are, and we have to do this. And then the third one could have come out, and it would have started to change the direction of the story, which it sounds like it's going to do. And so then you would have felt and understood why everything was doing what it was. And then 4 and 5 would have been awesome. He's waited so long, I don't have that connection to these anymore that I think it's going to lose a lot of how great that story could have been.
I totally agree with you, Caleb. It should have been done like Lord of the Rings, which should have been back to back to back.
Filmed it all at the same time, and then, yep absolutely.
I mean, that's honestly, that's how I also feel about Stranger Things, and that's coming out in a couple of weeks or next week as well. It shouldn't have taken 10 years to get 5 seasons of one show.
Never even watched it.
It's insane. We shouldn't have taken over 10 years to get here with Avatar. You lose that connection. You lose that, the vulnerability, if you will, of the story of, I want to know what happens next. The suspense. It's gone. Now you're like, wait a minute. What happened? What did I miss? Who's this person and why do I care? Again, Avatar's not a short movie, so it's not like, oh, hey, let me just put this on real quick to watch before the new one comes out. Like, you got to carve out time, like, if you're ever going to sit down and watch these movies again. We'll see. I'm still going to put my butt in a seat, probably in a theater to watch it because I can't miss anything because I've got an addiction. What can I say?
You're such a movie whore.
The first step to admitting you have a problem is
coming from the guy that owns the street corner.
Wow. Damn.
I'm just saying, Pinky's got that pass, and there's times where he's like, yeah, I went and saw this movie. I was like, you spent money on that movie? He's like, well, no, I mean, I had the pass, so like, I had to use it.
I get free movie tickets too.
It's the only thing out, so I went to the movies. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Heck yeah, man. So,
but Pinky, you see everything.
Almost.
It's been a little while. I haven't seen a movie in a while because every time I want to go see a movie, Robert's like, let's go see it, and then he goes with like all of his nerd buddies instead of me. So
that's sad.
Hey, I told you to figure out a Badlands time, and we haven't done it.
You can't keep blowing off Dad. You can't.
Now,
Robert, you know better.
To be fair, I did make the choice not to go to Badlands. It was the right choice.
It was the right choice. That's why I said, let's figure out a time when we're back to go. It just hasn't happened.
All right. I got 2 questions for Robert to finish these last couple of minutes.
Oh, boy.
One I know we've kind of talked about, but it does seem to be picking up a little bit of steam, and I'm curious as to thoughts and what you might have been hearing. And then the other one is to see how you feel about what you saw. And if you're coming around to the inevitability of what is to come. So, first off, Snyderverse.
It's not happening.
Saudis in serious play to buy, and if happens, rumors seem. Look, I know I don't have the sources that you do,
It's not happening.
and your sources are probably going to not say it because, based on what I've come to learn, I feel like your sources are. I don't want to say biased, but maybe not in the same circles that these stories would be coming from per se. But it does sound like, at least at the very least, the Saudis buying is becoming more realistic. And if that happens, I think there then could be a legit question as to what's going to get shaken up. Would that be a fair statement?
I mean, yes, it's plausible, sure, because I mean, if the Saudis do buy it, then we're talking about a really big shakeup in the TV market anyway. So that's going to be a big shock to the system to start. Secondly, it's a very minute chance. Reason being is the Snyderverse is dead. It is not coming back. All the internet Snyder fucking wannabes want this to happen so bad. It's done. It is never going to come back. As much as we all want this story to happen, it won't. Just like how we're never going to get David Ayer's cut of Suicide Squad. It will not happen. There will not be a warring DC verse between like who's going to perform better, because that'll just tear everything apart. We'll be back to where we were when.
Now,
Marvel
I brought
was
this
sold
up to you last time, and I still think it would make a ton of money and be really awesome to see, because it's within the comics. You basically let Snyder run his universe as Elseworld, and you allowed Gunn to continue with the standard timeline, if you will. And wouldn't that satisfy every single possible DC fan, basically, and give everybody something that they'd like, and everybody would be making money? Like, I don't see why that would be a fail.
Because then, but that's the problem, is that everybody will have everything to hate for everything. Everyone will be wasted on the characters. It'll be overdone. Everyone will be like, what's happening here? What's happening there? Why do I care about this? Why do I care about that?
But if
Because
they know
people
they're
like
very
you and
distinct
me-
in that sense, as original timeline, Elseworld timeline, that would be the whole point. You'd get the ability. People already hate or love now. Why would that be any different?
Because it'll just give them all the more reason to hate on everything. It's not going to be love or hate. It'll just be hate on it all. So it's like, well, this did better than this, and this is why, and this did better. It's just going to become a topic for war. There's not going to be anything of, okay, this is a debate about, okay, this is where we're at in the universes now.
I mean, that doesn't sound any different than where we're at now to me, but
in my opinion, we're progressing further in the universes than we have before. We're getting brand new characters. We're getting brand new stories. We're getting things that we haven't gotten told before. Not just in an animation scale, but also in live action.
yeah,
And that's
but
also
I mean,
said
maybe
for
it's
both-
me, but I
for-
feel like
for-
the fan base for DC is more divided than ever.
I would actually say the opposite. I think DC is becoming more united with what's been happening recently than where Marvel's at. Marvel's becoming more divided on what to do. I mean,
I would say Marvel's not in a great place compared to where they were, but
I mean,
man,
especially,
the more it goes, the more I feel like it's 50-50 on whether or not you like Superman.
again, but that's also the beauty of a lot of DC, right? There's been at least 6 Supermen maybe 7 by my count now, right? So there's a lot of debate, but each Superman has a different era and a different story that was told. Because you've got Smallville, right? But then you also have Superman and Lois, which was, has pretty much been written off entirely. You have Brandon Routh, Superman Returns, who gets spoken about every so often, which I personally thought was a very good Superman movie. But that's also gets a shit on
I found
opinion.
that movie pretty boring.
So But I also loved Kevin Spacey. I loved how he was as Lex. I loved the emotional intensity of Superman coming back and Lois isn't his girl anymore, and him having to prove himself in other ways and have something else to stand, fight for in that case. Because Superman's been gone, right? So it's how is he still gonna impact the world and provide this beacon of hope? But you have Man of Steel, which took Superman in a very different direction, and this is why Superman doesn't kill. He commits his first kill on screen.
I mean, I think I'm more okay with the Superman making the kill based on the scenario in which it was told than I am completely changing his parents' message and story to him of why he is who he is.
But that's also been
Like, if
something
we're
that's been told in
arguing-
the comics, though.
What?
That's also... Oh, so there's been, in some comic lines, there's been some stories where Krypton sent out Superman, and he was going to take over the planet. And because of
right,
his
but I mean, that's
upbringing,
not
he's the hope.
standard. There's been some
It's not
comics where
standard, but
Superman's
there's the
killed.
comic lines.
There's been
But
some
that-
comics where he's killed. So,
But
like,
that's always his last resort.
well, and
It's
that was
never-
his
it was-
last resort in that
But
scenario.
But it's never a catalyst, which is what Zack Snyder did. It made it his reasoning, this is why he doesn't do this. And I don't agree with that.
What do you mean?
Superman never kills. From day one, Superman doesn't kill. Period. But Snyder went to the length of Superman killed, and now because he's experienced that loss and that power, he doesn't want to exert that ever again, which is why he won't kill, or his goal is not to kill.
Okay.
I don't agree with that. Superman doesn't kill.
Okay, but at least he tried to do something maybe slightly unique, but then give you a reason for why Superman doesn't kill. But what he did doesn't change the core principles of the character, in my opinion. What Gunn did does, very much so.
I disagree with that. Because still at the end, it's Superman still has the same core principles. And that's the
But not
that's
for the same
conflict.
core reasons. Which changes the character. I
It's
think
still
that's the difference.
It's part of his
Superman
upbringing.
killing, I'm just saying the way I see it, Superman killing the way Zack Snyder did it doesn't change the core of the character. The way James Gunn did it, I
Makes
can
him a
see that as
murderer.
changing the core of the character.
I mean, Zack Snyder makes Superman a murderer, and Superman's not a murderer.
I wouldn't say that. He was put in an impossible situation. I think that's the beauty of the way the story was written. James Gunn didn't have to write the story the way he did. He chose to. Like, very much so chose to.
And I
There's
think to make
always
the
this
DC
feeling that
universe relevant, he's got to he's got to power scale down a little bit.
Yeah, but you didn't have to do that the way he did it, is what I'm saying. He made a very purposeful decision on making Superman human and not Kryptonian. And the way in which he went about that, I think, changes the core of the character, who the character is. James Gunn basically is trying to remove that Superman's Kryptonian. I think that's why I see people having an issue with James Gunn's version of Superman. And less people... I feel like more people have issue with James Gunn's version of Superman than people have with Zack Snyder's version of Superman. I guess that's where I'm trying to go with this. So with that being said, I think it would be really cool to see something that's never been done before and have two quote-unquote competing universes, because if you're doing them completely differently in that way, I don't see why both wouldn't be able to excel and really could potentially wipe Marvel out in a sense.
But to get something like that going, you're looking at superhero burnout, and no one's gonna give a crap. It's just
Maybe.
won't happen.
I mean, you're not wrong. That's possible.
It's
the stories would have
happening
to
now.
be. The stories would have to be epic. You would have to do really well told stories, and you couldn't do overkill on TV. But like the way the Batman's kind of done, if you want to have a 2-year break in between movies, do a series that kind of connects everything in between, tells a smaller story but keeps you within the world. I think there's some ways you could do it. I just think, you know, things get in the way of a truly great creative process, and it ruins the art for the fans.
I don't disagree, and that's why I don't think a competing universe could ever happen, because it's just too much oversaturation, and burnout will happen to be too.
Well, I mean, we're already there, my guy.
Again, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
last thought,
it's just,
and we'll do it quick. What did you think about the first trailer for Toy Story 5?
Dude, again, they should have stopped at 3. 3 was it. I can't. I just can't. I'm done. I didn't like 4 was good.
4 was really good.
But 3 was it for me. That I was done.
I think that's a bummer because they're still telling really good stories, and I think the trailer
I'm excited.
The trailer is an opportunity to bring everything full circle.
They brought everything full circle at the end of 3. He moved on. He grew up. The toy started a new childhood. That's fine.
See, you think everything came full circle because Andy was done.
I don't need more.
I think you're forgetting Woody is a family toy. It wasn't bought for Andy. Andy inherited the toy. So Woody's had a life before Andy. So I think this idea that the story had to begin and end with Andy, I think is where people are missing. This isn't about Andy. This is about the toys. This is a story about their life. So with that in mind, I like the fact that we're still getting to see a progression of where they go and where they could end up.
Let me put it this way, Caleb. The way that I see the way that Toy Story 3 ended is the way how Return of the King ended for me. That's it. That was it.
But Return of the King didn't end well.
What are you talking about? That was a great ending.
For as great as it was, I was not very happy with the ending because they left out a whole part that I was expecting to be able to see.
They cut out the entire war. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking like the final credits of the movie, right? Frodo leaves, Gandalf leaves, everybody's going on the ship, the other hobbits stay behind. Like, that for me was what Toy Story 3 did. That ending was
that's
perfect.
fine in a sense, but
I don't need a continuation of that story. I don't yes, there are continuations in the notes and I understand that. I don't need it told on screen or anything like that. A book or something is just fine.
I understand where you're coming from. I do. And I don't hate that thought process because in a sense, yes, you could have ended after 3. It would have been a perfect little trilogy done and over. I get that. I'm not mad at that. But Return of the King, I think
there's so
not
many
a bad analogy, but that was the ending because that was the ending. Like the book was written, you're done. Toy Story doesn't necessarily have an ending.
Sure.
So they have the ability to. I've always thought of it as the Toy Story. I always was hoping for a prequel before Andy to see where the family got the toy, how long it's been in the family. I always thought that would be fun to get. I'm still hoping it happens.
In the Toy Story, I guess. I mean, I would rather see a Bug's Life sequel.
I'm down with that too.
Like, there's so many other Pixar movies that I would rather see done than getting another freaking Toy Story movie.
I love the Toy Story universe. I think they've done a really good job telling the stories and keeping it open.
But that's my final thought. Toy Story should have ended with 3. Quentin Tarantino also agrees with me. There is an interview. I will send you that interview. It's fantastic.
Tarantino's not exactly the best person to talk about as far as finales and finite endings to things.
You're getting Pinky a little...
Pinky can get riled up all he wants.
Pinky's like, wait a minute.
Hold on now. We don't have time.
I'm just saying, the man has this thought that everything should be very much like, that's it. There's no outside of that. And that's because that's his way of thinking. I always decided I was only going to do 9. I'm doing 9 and I'm done. That's it. I've told all the stories I want to. Bullshit you have. But that's how you feel? Cool. Do your 9 and get out. but I think that very much influences his take on very many things within the industry. He's not a big fan of comic book movies either, and I think his reasoning is kind of silly. So while I might love his art, I don't necessarily agree with his thought processes on a lot of things. Just saying.
This will be a topic for another day. This is a topic for another day. But I like this conversation, Caleb. I like this conversation.
Write it down. I'm in. Should probably go back and watch a couple of those. I haven't seen Reservoir Dog in a long time.
Oh,
Yeah.
so good. So good.
That's
Watch
one I
some
need
of
to go
these
back and
movies and we'll
watch.
talk about why he doesn't like Marvel movies. I understand it, and I respect it.
I think his reasoning is silly.
I respect it.
I think he's basically telling people what they should and should not like, and I'm not a fan of people doing that. As far as I'm concerned, Kill Bill is a comic book movie.
I want to go see the re-release.
So
I'm gonna go see the re-release.
Tarantino can talk about his feelings on comic books all he wants, but as far as I'm concerned, he made one. So there's that.
All right.
Final thoughts, Pinky.
Let's go. SmackDown on Friday. Let's go. 4 hours. Let's go. It's awesome. They've got so many good stuff going down. Robert, you're coming. We'll talk about it.
I get to
We're
go.
good. And then we got F1 on Saturday, boys.
Let's go Vegas! And specifically, let's go Max Verstappen. Hold off McLaren.
Do.
Max Verstappen.
Robert, did you have any final thoughts to add on to what you claimed were your final thoughts?
It's a great sports season. There's a lot of soccer going on. There's a lot of football. There's a lot of exciting F1 things happening. I got to see Michigan State beat Kentucky today in a big game for basketball, so that was awesome. I loved that. Every night I've had a bunch of sports on all of these screens, and my brain can't process it all at the same time, but it's great and I love it, and it's a problem.
Well said.
And
Like
sunglasses
what you
make
like.
everything cooler.
That's a vibe, my guy. Like what you like. Don't give a shit what anybody else says. Like, if you enjoy something, go do it. We're sitting here talking our nonsense for, half an hour about movies and whatever else we come up with, Dungeons and Dragons and comics and everything else, because we enjoy it. If you enjoy sports, cool. Go do that too. Obviously, we enjoy that. If you don't like any of that and music's your thing, art's your thing, painting, whatever, go just enjoy what you enjoy. And don't
Enjoy
worry about
life.
what other people are telling you should or should not bring you happiness in this life. That being said, take those times that you have the opportunity to spend with your inner circle, family, loved one, friends. Blood is thicker than the water is bullshit. Remember, the true saying is the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. So don't let somebody tell you just because they are this and that to you means that you have to then be this or that to them. Respect yourself, love yourself, and then find the circle that shares those values and makes you better than who you were previously. Until then, please like, follow, share, hit the buttons wherever they are on these screens. We cannot thank you enough for the support. You got topics you want to discuss, hit us up. Socials, you can find us everywhere. Till next week, Tuesday rolls around. Cheers. Peace.
Later.
Pinky in the building, reppin' orange and blue. Broncos country, yeah, you know how we do. High take so wild, you remember the name. From college ball to the pros, Caleb spitting game. Robert here, the pop culture plug. From comics to racing, pour the drink in the mug. Sports, nonsense and whiskey, yeah, bold talk. Good laughs and a glass in the air. Sports, nonsense and whiskey, right? Kick back, tune in, take a wild side stride.